Do you know Ashley Madison? More than 39 million people do. Ashley Madison is a website for people who want to have an extramarital affair. And over 39 million people are promised a very discreet encounter with another person. In other words, Ashley Madison is a site where people want to cheat on their spouse. Now, what's amazing about this is that it just recently got hacked. And all the people's names that are part of the database of the Ashley Madison server are now in jeopardy of being exposed. Websites that have been hacked are not uncommon. It happens every day, but typically we don't either know about it or we forget about it within a week. But something like this is a little bit different because as the hackers will comb through the names that are on the site, they'll be looking for celebrities, they'll be looking for politicians, they'll be looking for notable names in business to expose them, to ruin their reputation or to point out hypocrisy. Well, that's the danger that anybody takes by going onto a website like this. Unfortunately, people's marriages will likely be ruined, people's careers will be in tatters, and their reputations will have to be, well, managed, handled, hopefully maybe even rebuilt if their lives change as a result of whatever might happen from this. Insecure sites are a major issue today. It's a national security problem for the United States government, and something like that can be very, very challenging to deal with. But let's bring it down to our level. To engage in something like this on a website and to give one's name into a site that is dealing with infidelity and adultery and cheating on your spouse potentially exposes you to just such a type of a claim and an exposure to what you're really doing. That's the danger that runs into it. You know, the Bible has a lot to say about how we live our lives in regard to sexuality, marriage, faithfulness to one man, to one woman in the marriage agreement, even to the point of how our lives are lived all the times, before marriage, within marriage, in regard to our sexuality. And when it comes to that, God's talking about faithfulness. He's talking about obedience to His law. When people engage in something so overt as to go to a website to try to hook up with someone who also wants to have an affair, a great chance is being sprung there. Better to be secure with God. Better to have a relationship with God that is clean, because there's something also very interesting in Scripture that comes out, and that is that the secret things will ultimately be exposed. There's a scripture in chapter 12 of the book of Ecclesiastes that talks about this and is a warning about how we should live our lives. Chapter 12, verses 13 and 14. It says, "Let us hear the conclusion of the matter. Fear God and keep His commandments, for this is man's all." It is the very purpose of life, to keep God's commands, and there are specific commands about marital fidelity and sexual purity. It goes on, though, "For God will bring every work into judgment, including every secret thing, whether good or evil," in verse 14. God knows, and God, it says here, will bring every work into judgment, whether good or evil. There's nothing that's hid from God. God's sight is the most secure. Let's make sure that we ourselves are secure with that sight, with God's way of life, and with His morality. That's BT Daily. Join us next time.